interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Ryan ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
It is, in fact, another Oh, I didn't update the lower third, so you're Ryan for today. This is not Ryan. This is John.
I'm John.
There you go. You're talking. You're already talking.
Right,
You've already talked more than you did the last time you co-hosted the show.
How about that?
Try not to bump the desk.
Okay.
Ryan had a habit of doing that, so the camera was shaking all the time. So, yeah, I got to get a more solid desk, I think, and because I'm like barely bumping it and it's moving. Look at. Yes, Laura's excited. You're back.
Hi, Laura.
She's been like, John needs to come back. John's the best. John's got to come back.
I'm back.
So you're back. You've made it. You said you want to redeem yourself from last time. You were very
quiet.
Very quiet. Look, I can actually hear you when you talk too.
I know, right?
Wow. Look at you go. Best co-host ever, she says.
Thank you.
I meant to switch to your lower thirds, and do I even have? I might have them in here. I don't know. Not that mouse. This mouse. I got too many mice. I did not mean to do that either. Oops. Oh well. Anyway, so I've seen you more than I've seen you more in the past like 4 days than I've seen my entire family in like 2 years. So really? Yeah, that is absolutely true. You've been here. You were here Saturday. You were here Sunday.
WrestleMania.
You're here today. I saw you last Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
So I have definitely in the last week I've seen you more than I've seen my whole family in the last year, which is the last 2 years, which is COVID basically kept me away from seeing my family. So I saw my little cousin at the Working Class Stiff show, and she was like the first member of my family that I saw in like 2 years. Really? And I was like, holy shit, like my family's still alive. All right, hey, how you doing? She's introducing me to people, right? She goes, she's there with her best friend. Her best friend comes up to us as we're talking, and she goes, "This is Joey," and I'm like, "No, I'm Joe. She's the only person on the planet who calls me, who ever can call me Joey. Her and her mom."
My family does that. They call me Johnny.
Johnny?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's just John, okay?
Yeah. But do you have like multiple Johns in your family? No. Okay, no. So that's just
Johnny Boy or Johnny Appleseed. I don't know.
Johnny Appleseed. Okay. My uncle's name is Joe, and my little cousin's name is Joe. So when my little cousin was born and growing up, it was to differentiate us. So my uncle was Joe. That was established. He was Joe. And for some reason, I got stuck with Joey, and my little cousin was Joseph. And now, when the three of us see each other, it's, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" Whereas my aunt and my cousin Sam still call me Joey. But they're the only people that can get away with that. So Laura wants to know, I guess we're going to talk WrestleMania here. What are John's thoughts on Vince's clothesline?
Well... Not much change. I mean,
it was. He took the worst stunner ever, but every stunner Vince takes is the worst.
Takes the worst stunner ever.
Is the worst stunner ever.
Yeah.
That is, in fact, a lot of Joes in my family.
I thought he was going to have a heart attack.
Oh, man. He's, what, 78 or something like that?
He still had it.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor was originally that he was going to wrestle Pat McAfee, and he ended up doing so. So that was pretty cool. So I was not expecting him to actually get in the ring and have an actual like full blown match, but here we are.
And he won.
Yeah. I did an interview earlier today for Wretched Sound magazine. That's going to be in their next issue, and like the first question was, "What did you think of WrestleMania?" Like, man, like I thought we were interviewing about my podcast here, but okay, let's talk about WrestleMania. No, it was a great show. It showed that WWE, when they want to, can actually still put on a fun show.
Exactly. Yeah.
So hopefully, we just got Monday Night Raw tickets.
Yep.
So hopefully that's gonna be a fun show. I need you to like take your headphones off and then put the wire around behind your back because it's rubbing up against your microphone. That's what
it is.
That's what the little scratching noise was. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. Yeah. just like at band practice, headphones behind your head.
Yeah.
So. So yeah, I thought it was a good show. Becky and Bianca stole the show for sure.
Oh yeah.
Stone Cold wrestling on actually having a match. I'm kind of torn on because I was at his last match before that at WrestleMania 19.
And the return of Cody Rhodes.
And the return of Cody Rhodes, which was another question that I was asked in this interview for that I did earlier for Wretched Sound. So, but yeah, I mean, good on Cody for doing what he needed to do. Man, he left. He was like, "Fuck this! I don't like what they've got for me. I'm gonna go do something else." Went and did his own thing. Changed the wrestling business while he was at it, and came back to basically what looks to be settle some unfinished business and try and win that WWE championship. So that's pretty cool that he's back and doing that. So I opened another Pepsi and I have another one here. So El Generico, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Adam Coe baby is in the chat. That's a man with a more glorious beard than mine. We got to get out to Syracuse, man. We got to play Syracuse. He was going to come to the Green Jello show out in Rochester when we were supposed to play with them, but
that would have been a cool show to play.
COVID shut everything down, and we didn't get to do that. So
hopefully in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Hoping to book outside of Buffalo sometime soon. Some Uber driver. Last Thursday I went out, so we played the Dreadnecks on the show last week, and they were opening for a band called, or a gentleman named Joe Buck Yourself. Got his t-shirt on here. And I overslept, so I called an Uber to get there. And my Uber driver's license plate number was some 41. And we got to talking, and he's in a local band, I guess. And he's like, "Hey, if you ever want to tour, let me know." I have no idea who this guy is, what his name is. I gave him a guitar pick, like, yeah. Reach out to my band. Here you go, But we do want to tour. It's just a matter of being able to tour and getting the time off and getting everybody together and available and. Finding plotting a course, I guess. So
we do have a lot going on right now. So
yeah, no, we're still working on our
80s album.
80s album. Got a couple of shows coming up. One that's announced. One that's not. So come see us May 28th at the Walmore Inn in Sanborn. With Cardiac Cassette, their CD release. It's a cancer benefit, so it's for a good cause. Time. Yeah, it's going to be a good cause. Good time. Everything, all that stuff. It's going to be a good everything. It's going to be good. John is talking too much.
Oh, no. I wasn't talking enough, and now I'm talking too much.
Hey, no, that makes for a better show. You're talking too much. I mean, you gotta figure you're sitting in for Ryan, and Ryan is very verbose. Ryan will talk if you don't stop him. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, like, that's Ryan.
I noticed at band practice.
Yeah. And he finds all the right big words to use too. So it's like, oh man, this is like hanging out with Chris Jericho in like 2008. Anyway, so Yeah, we got a good show for you today. Some good music coming up. Really good stuff, man. I never heard of this one band we're playing today, Loaded and Gorgeous. I never heard of them until I saw they got a CD release coming out. It's actually their second album. So I was like, all right, I got to find a song by them. And I took the title track from their album, which is like 7.5 minutes long. It's like, who writes songs that long? We were at your what's now our practice spot last Wednesday after the show, and your other band is playing songs for us, and Ryan and I are just kind of standing there like, how long is this? Our longest song is just over 3 minutes, and it's the only one we have that's 3 minutes long.
Ours is like over maybe 8 minutes.
Yeah,
like Metallica here.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like you know, but we're a punk. Living Brain Dead's a punk band, so it's not like we're
or a metal.
It's not like we're trying to write epics here. We're just trying to get to the point, I guess. But yeah, this is a 7-minute long song we're coming up on today. So they should be thankful that we're not on traditional radio, because we'd be like, nah, fuck that.
Got to get the other version.
Yeah.
The short one.
Yeah, right. Will John pass the IQ test? All right, let me get this. Let's get you. She says, will John pass the IQ test? Spell the opposite of the word less. She wants you to spell it like that.
Oh, opposite word of less?
Yeah.
SSEL?
You would have failed any kind of IQ test with that one. She wants you to spell it MOORE, like her. More is the opposite of less, John.
Oh, okay, yeah, I failed.
7 minutes. Are they Rush?
Yes, we are.
Those were some epic songs you guys played for us, so not gonna lie.
I'm shocked I even remember those songs, because we haven't practiced in a while.
Yeah. You start playing, and I'm just like, I don't have earplugs in. I'm like, God damn it, warn me. Then you start intentionally playing while I don't have earplugs in. Which is like, God damn it, man. Like, I need these to fucking work. We got people I don't know in the chat here.
Hi.
Hi. Anyway. Yeah, Laura says it. Fail.
Fail. I know. Give me something else.
Now you told her to give you something else. Now she's gonna never shut up about Home Alone 5. She's gonna be like, "Did John seen Home Alone 5? It's the greatest movie of all time." And
actually, I haven't seen it.
It's Blake and my mom.
Oh, hey Carrie.
There you go.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, Blake. Hi, Carrie's mom.
All right. John's thoughts on it. See, I told you. John's thoughts on Home Alone 5.
Look, I haven't seen it. I only saw 1 and 2. I saw 3, but
did you see 3? I never even saw 3.
3.
I
stopped at 3.
I stopped at 2. I'm like, I don't want to see this direct-to-video bullshit. I don't know, man. Some franchises just don't need to be more than 2 movies. That's one of them. I don't know, what else could have stopped at a second movie? I don't know. The Matrix could have stopped at 1.
Yeah.
That third one, I didn't see this. So I saw the second one in theater, The Matrix Reloaded, right? I saw that in theaters because I had seen the original Matrix on DVDs. I'm like, I gotta see the sequel. So I went and I saw the sequel, and I'm watching this movie, and it's just, you get to the end of that movie, and it's just like, man, I just sat through a 2-hour fucking ad for the next fucking movie. And then I never went to see the third Matrix, Revolutions or whatever the fuck it was, right? So I'm like, no, that was bullshit, man. You made me pay for that movie, which was just an advertisement for this movie. Fuck that shit. So, yeah, that's, all right, let's catch up on some chat here. Laura says 3 wasn't straight to video. I I don't recall a theatrical release, but I could be wrong. I don't know. And then, hey, bro, Sabres beat the Canes. Bet your, yeah, I was there. I was very happy for that. I was third row off the ice last night.
I bet you were.
Third row off the ice last night. Yeah, I haven't been to I don't think I've been to a game they've lost all season, including that one against, who was it? You were there. Who was that? Tampa Bay. That's right. I was there at that game.
Yeah. Hope you're happy.
Yeah, I was very happy because that was like the only big win we had early in the season.
I'm sorry, I'm a Tampa fan.
Luckily, they're starting to play better, so hopefully next year they continue this, and you might have a contender. We might have a contender on our hands here. I went to the game on Friday, RJ night. It was sold out. I'm glad I bought tickets ahead of time. In the Uber on the way to the game, I'm looking up tickets, and it's like $215 was the cheapest ticket to get into that game. So I am not. Anyway, she says I'm called. No, I'm not. Not at all. Anyway.
I won't call you that.
Yeah, and I won't call you Johnny either, so.
You already did.
I did. No, I said I won't call you Johnny.
Oh, you just said Johnny.
I said Johnny, but I wasn't calling you Johnny. I went to the Sabres game Friday, and I bought my tickets ahead of time because it was RJ night, man. And, that's the greatest of all time right there. The greatest play-by-play commentator in sports history, Rick Jenneret. I got the little banner on the back wall there because I didn't have anywhere better to put it. So I'll find some place for it by the time I do next week's Things You Might Not Know. And then band practice fell through yesterday, so I was like, Sabres are playing tonight. So I was trying to get like 300 levels center ice, but they wouldn't, Ticketmaster wouldn't let me buy a single ticket for that section, because it was like there was like two, you can pick your individual seat, and each seat was like in a group of two, and every time I would pick a ticket, it's like, well, you can't just leave one seat by itself, so you have to pick another seat, or you have to buy both seats. And so I went to I got right behind the Zamboni door. There's just a single seat, like right next to where the Zamboni and the ice crew come out. It's just a single seat in the third row. So it's like, all right, I'll take that. So 3 rows off the ice. That last goal last night was pretty good. Favorite call was a video it was a Sabres versus Flyers brawl on YouTube, and RJ went nuts. Yeah, there was a few of those. What was the first wrestling match John watched?
What, ever?
Ever.
Ever?
What got you hooked on pro wrestling?
Let's see. My first match. First time I got into wrestling was WrestleMania 9.
Okay.
Was my first
that
WrestleMania.
If there was ever a WrestleMania that should not have gotten you into wrestling, it's WrestleMania 9, but go ahead.
It was a Johnny Gonzalez versus The Undertaker.
Giant Gonzalez versus
Yeah.
Okay.
Giant Gonzalez.
Was it Melina versus Fox? No, it wasn't, but
No.
it was just as bad, apparently.
It was.
Giant Gonzalez and the fucking Undertaker. Really? That was the first match. That match is the reason you watch wrestling.
Well, not. I was more of the Undertaker fan.
Okay.
So Undertaker, when I saw him for the first time.
Okay, so
I got into it.
I could see that. That was probably the worst Undertaker match to see for the first time. But yeah, I could see that. That not a good WrestleMania.
No. That was the first one for me.
Okay, well that's fair. That's fair. Johnny Mercury says, first wrestling match he ever saw was Steve Austin versus Savio Vega in a leather strap match. In Your House, Beware of Dog 3. Or In Your House 3, Beware of Dog, rather. Anyway. Power went out. They had to reshoot it like on Tuesday. Here we go. Ningwood Records. $1 Million Man versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. WrestleMania 4 was the first match he saw. I got into wrestling. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the first match I saw was, but I do recall the first promo I ever saw was before WrestleMania 2, Hulk Hogan about King Kong Bundy. I'm gonna get that big dude in the cage. You know? So yeah, that I don't think really hooked me, and I kind of got into wrestling a little closer to like SummerSlam '88, WrestleMania 5, like the Mega Powers explode. Mm-hmm. So, which explains the $400 purchase I made the other day, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, you know, would I still be watching if I didn't work basically in pro wrestling on the fringes of it anyway? I don't know, but you know, it helps to be surrounded by you and Katie, who are both wrestling fans, and
Yep.
You know, the first WCW match I ever saw would be Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, 2 out of 3 falls for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. How I didn't look at that match and be like, yo, I need to watch this more, I don't know. Whereas maybe I was too young to kind of appreciate that level of in-ring work, and was still like, ooh, look at that guy with the face paint and the bright tassels. I don't know. Yeah, that would be my first WCW experience that I remember anyway, is watching that Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat 2 out of 3 falls match. What a match. Definitely a classic. I gotta stop wearing shirts that blend in with the lower graphics here. Tips.thinksojoe.com if you wanna. Have I ever fallen off stage? No. I know people who have.
Me too.
But I personally am pretty conscious of where the edge of the stage is.
Oh, I sit down, so
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about falling
you
off the
don't
stage.
have to, but you're not moving all over the place.
Well, technically I am, but
I have definitely watched. I've never actually seen anybody, but I've heard stories of people falling off the stage. I have not done it because I'm just like, all right, there's the edge. I can't go any further than that.
my old band, Will Light Comes Death, we used to have this guitarist, Joe. It was at the waiting room, and we got a little drunk before we went on stage. I was buzzed, but we were playing. We got close to the breakdown, and he started wobbling, and he falled off the stage. But he acted like nobody saw it, and then he hopped back on stage, did a kick, turned around, and started playing like nobody noticed it. But
That's what you got to do.
It's on YouTube, and he'll never live it down.
You know what?
saw the video
I'll
of it.
tell you what. You want to talk videos on YouTube? There is a video of me hitting my head on a disco ball.
Oh, really?
Playing a show.
I wanna see that.
Really, really bad quality. We were playing this place called Maggie's out in Tonawanda, which is because I didn't know John when BWF was a thing. That's why he wasn't on BW. Anyway, we were playing this place called Maggie's out in Tonawanda with my old band, and I got up on my guitar amp. I thought this was a good idea. I got up on my guitar amp, and then when the song kicked in, I jumped off the amp and hit my head on the fucking disco ball. So that's probably the worst that's happened to me on stage.
And it's on video?
It's on video. Yeah, I'll show it to you after the show. Or I'll find it during the song break or whatever. I'll show it to you on the phone. But yeah, that's probably the worst that's happened to me. What do we got here? So first favorite wrestler was a 1-2-3 Kid because he was small. Who were you guys' first favorites? We'll answer that in a question after we ask you why the hell you have a tattoo of the 1-2-3 Kid. Is it like the 1-2-3 Kid, or is it like Sean Waltman, like later, like
X-Pac.
X-Pac, Six
Six.
era, something like that?
Is it 6-pack?
6-pack, yeah. BWF 2.0, perhaps. I don't know if I want to do another podcast. That's pretty much the only reason I haven't said, hey, let's do another podcast. It's a legit 1, 2, 3 kid tattoo. I grew up in the Hulkamania era, man. So like I had the Ultimate Warrior was always cool to me. And like Hulk Hogan, you know, Randy Savage is probably my absolute favorite from that era to this day. Demolition is the best tag team ever. I don't care who else you want to say is in that conversation. You're wrong.
Tag team wise, Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys. That's an interesting choice.
And wrestling wise, at Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Best wrestler as far as in-ring work ever. I don't care what anybody else says. Sorry, Brian. You can take Bret Hart and anyway.
Love you, buddy.
We had that argument plenty of times. Brian and I, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I was definitely a Shawn Michaels guy. All right, we got a vote for the Dudley Boys in the chat here, and definitely for their era, definitely. ECW Tag Team Champions, WWE Tag Team Champions, Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. They have done everything they could possibly do in wrestling. And WCW Tag Team Champions, if you want to count that, because it was during the invasion. But you know, big Sean Waltman fan, loved his matches with Jerry Lynn in GWF. Yeah, Sean Waltman is pretty cool, man. Like, he's just a cool dude in general, and a great in-ring worker. And it was cool that Scott Hall like did what he did to get him over for, as the 1, 2, 3 kid. So I got to see him. It was Sean Waltman and Billy Gunn, and I forget who they were wrestling, but they wrestled for ESW at one of the shows. I think it might have been the same one where I was showing you the picture the other day, the Sandman pouring beer down my throat.
Do you remember before he was a 1, 2, 3 kid?
No.
He was called the Dingo Kid.
I guess like he was changing his name every week before that, and I didn't really see him.
Then he became
Oh man, I'm being I got El Generico here trying to coax me out of not doing wrestling podcasts anymore. We used to do a wrestling podcast. It was called Board Wrestling Fan. It's all archived up on boardwrestlingfan.com. It was Coaster there and myself, along with my buddy G out of Calgary, my buddy JT out of Syracuse, and the late Mark Noyce out of England. And with occasional appearances from our friend Drow out of Texas, Justin Ruff out of Dallas, Texas. So, it was a pretty fun run we had. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm so happy to have my Sundays back. So maybe we'll talk. At least do a reunion show again at some point. Mark Noyce tribute show, I guess, something. Anyway. Yeah, Laura asked why you weren't on that show, and that's because I didn't know you then. So, I mean, and it was hard for anybody to get a word in edgewise on that show. So I don't know if you would have fit right in, or if you would have just been like silent, and nobody would have even known you were there. So,
that happens.
R.I.P. Scott Hall. Scott Hall noticed his tattoo at a signing and asked why he doesn't have a razor tattoo. And Nash asked, do you have a Diesel tattoo? He was the Lightning Kid in GWF, and Vince hated that name, so every week he gave him a new name, and the 1, 2, 3 Kid name ended up sticking. Laura liked Spellbinder in the USWA. Okay. I don't know who that is.
Gotta look it up.
We'll have to look that up for sure. Yeah, BWF towards the end, painful. Yeah, for all of us. There were episodes where I just like woke up and hit record and went back to bed. that happened a couple of times. So we'll answer this this question, then we'll get to the music. How long have I been playing music? I picked up a guitar around when I was 15. So 25 years I've been playing guitar on and off.
I've been playing drums for about 17 years.
Okay.
So
yeah, I picked up a guitar probably first time around like 97, somewhere around there. So I got into my first band in like 2006, and then
2004.
And then was out of music for like 9 years, and got dragged back in by XM Priory and started the Living Brain Dead shortly thereafter. So
that's a good question.
This is Steve Carino was gonna be the fake 123 kid with really. Okay, I did not know that.
Already had a fake Razor Ramon and a fake.
Well, that apparently that was gonna be part of that storyline. So
okay,
all right. So we're gonna get into some music here. This is our good friends in Gumshoe. They have a brand new single out. It's called "I Don't Know When to Quit." There's also a kid-friendly radio version if you want to listen to that, but this is not it. This is our good friends Gumshoe. Song's called "I Don't Know When to Quit" on all WNY Think So Joe show. Gumshoe, I Don't Know When to Quit on all WNY Think So Joe show. Brand new song from them. It actually came out before last week's show. And I meant to play it on last week's show, but I programmed the music at like 6 in the morning before I went to bed. And I was not thinking about, hey, a couple of my friends just released new music, and just picked music that was bands that were going to be playing so that weekend. So, yeah. I didn't end up getting to, I wanted to get to more shows than I got to last week, but I got to a few, so. Actually, I got to one. I got to the Dreadnecks with Joe Buck Yourself, which was a great show. I went for the Dreadnecks, because I love the Dreadnecks. Those are my boys. I went to see the Dreadnecks. I was hanging out with them. Grant was saying, hey, you know, this dude's last band is what influenced the Dreadnecks. And I was thinking of just leaving right after the Dreadnecks, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this guy a couple of songs. I watched him play a couple of songs. I watched him blow the subwoofer at fucking at Mohawk Place with a kick drum. I don't know how you do that. But he was really good. I ended up spending like $70 on merch. I got this T-shirt here, and then I got a couple of his records. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to add to that vinyl collection. So we got a picture of John sent us his tattoo. Johnny Mercury in the chat there sent us his tattoo. It's not. I was thinking it was like a picture of Sean Waltman, but no, it's just the 1 2 3 Kid logo on his arm. That's way better than I thought. What you had. I thought it was gonna be like the picture from the fucking action figure. That came out at the time where his eyebrows were shaved because Kurt Hennig shaved his eyebrows off the night before. Anyway, Laura says, "Bring back Think So Brain." I was just showing you video from Think So Brain show in the song break, so you could see me hit my head on the fucking disco ball. And I literally get on the microphone like, "Ow, who put that disco ball there?"
I can find that on YouTube.
You could just search for Think So Brain. It's all one word. Anyway. Which we were talking. I was talking to Tim from Ningwood Records over the week before last show about stylistic choices as far as capitalization and things like that, and because a lot of some of his artists, some moderators have changed things on their Discogs pages, to go with capitalization standards, and I'm like, I was in a band that was all lowercase letters, so I get that frustration. A lot of the time, we get like in newspapers, like in the Art Voice or whatever. This is how long ago this was when you were excited to see your name in the fucking Gusto, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it would be like, oh, so and so with Think So Brain. Close enough. We're in the newspaper.
Take that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we, that was for a little while when I started booking all WNY shows, I started putting them in like newspapers and Art Voice and shit like that, but I don't do that anymore. Who the fuck reads those anymore? When's the last time you actually like held a newspaper in your hand?
Never.
Never.
I mean,
never.
Okay, no.
You're in your 30s, dude.
I know. No,
you were around before the internet.
Yeah, it's been since maybe my 20s.
Maybe you're 20. Okay, fair enough. You too, Tim. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Anyway. But yeah, no, since you're 20, yeah, that's, I was probably in my 30s, but that's because I was working in hotels and I'm bored and I'm like, all right, let me do the fucking jumble Sudoku puzzle, read the comics and read those Garfield strips. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was talking to somebody on Monday, and they were like, it's Monday. And I'm like, yeah, and I mentioned Garfield, and then I think I sent one of the calendar. You remember I was doing those calendar pages for Brian?
Yeah.
Because Brian bought a calendar, but he accidentally bought a 2020 calendar instead of a 2021 Garfield calendar. So it's like, who needs an up-to-date calendar? I'll just send you pictures of my fat ass cat. So, readings for rich folks. There you go. Readings for Yeah. I don't know. I get paid to read, so I am becoming a rich folk by reading, I guess. I don't know. It makes it hard to read shit outside of the shit I have to read, though. Like, I got Mox's book, and I started reading it, and I'm like a chapter in. And then I've just not picked up my Kindle since. But that's, like, I get paid to read. Yeah. I got a message the other day. Some guy says, hey, so I got a video done by somebody, and they said they used you as their voice artist, but it was definitely done by, like, a robot, like automated voice deal, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's one of my clients. He's like, do you record? Like, yeah, I record all my stuff. Like, you want me to send you a video of me recording your fucking job? It was probably boring, so I probably just read it in the most monotone way possible. Like, yay, another fucking script about cryptocurrency. Hooray. Go buy your NFTs. When is this trend going to end and then I can get to something else? Like, when I first started, it was all about, what do you call it? like day trading, basically, like stocks, like that kind of stuff. That was like every script I got, and then it became like, oh, you know, Bitcoin is the newest thing, and then it's all like, oh, now everything's decentralized on the blockchain, and now it's like, oh, you know, here's our new altcoin and the NFT that goes along with it. Like, fuck, don't you people have lives? I don't know who you're talking about, Laura, so I'm not acknowledging I'm not posting that on the screen there. Anyway. Anyway. No, I don't, look, I don't know what the argument is against NFTs. I'm not knowledgeable enough in that to make an argument either way. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy one, but I don't understand what the big deal is about like Jimmy Fallon fucking buying one. Like, dude's got money. If he wants to fucking spend it on a pretend fucking picture on the internet, good for him. I don't give a shit. Anyway. Yeah, John is like intently reading the chat because I'm not sharing Laura's posts on the screen. Anyway, so he's like, what's that say? So that's what he's leaning in for, is to read the chat. Anyway.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to see me bash my head on a disco ball during the song break there.
Yeah. It would have been better if I was there. I knew you back then.
It was that show was
What year was that?
Oh geez, that had to be 08, maybe
08?
07, probably 08.
08? Yeah. I was
07 or 08, somewhere
I was
around
a
there.
freshman in college.
You know what? It was 2007.
Okay.
It was my bass player for that show. It was his first show with us, which, according to him, he was never in that band. So, you know, we'll just ignore that fact. And what we recorded that on was, you remember you could go to the store, you could buy disposable cameras, right?
Yeah.
So, Walgreens you could go to the store and you could buy basically a disposable camera, but it's a video camera. And you could hack those so that you could just not have to bring it to Walgreens to get your video back. You could just reuse it over and over again. So I hacked one of those, and that's what that video was shot on. And it's very dark it was very dark in the room to begin with. We're gonna catch up on chat here. Does John know what an NFT is? John does not know what an NFT is.
Sorry. I failed again.
No, you didn't fail. So NFTs they're non-fungible tokens. There's actually good uses for an NFT, which would be like to prevent like ticket fraud. Was one of like the good uses you could use it for, but instead people are using it to sell pictures of cartoon monkeys on the internet. You could buy one of these pictures of a cartoon monkey, and you own this picture of a cartoon monkey. What is stopping anybody from copying, downloading this, cartoon monkey? Nothing. You just happen to own it. You paid money for this thing so that you could say, I own this thing.
How much?
I don't fucking know. I don't own any. We'll continue this in a second. Joe should change his name to Disco Inferno after that disco. No. Glenn Gilberti can fuck right off. Anyway, Joe hasn't bought a WWE NFT, so let's talk about this. When John Cena was back last year, which was what, SummerSlam?
Yeah.
So John Cena came back for SummerSlam, and WWE was like, you can buy this limited edition John Cena NFT. You get the t-shirt. It was the Super Mario Brothers 3 deal he was doing. So you could buy the t-shirt and you get the NFT, and they were charging like $500 for it. And I think they sold like 3. Like I'm not, I don't care who it is. I'm not going to spend money to not, just so I can say I own something.
Yeah.
Like, I did just spend $400 at WWE Shop the other day, but I'm physically getting a product in the mail. later this week. So, it's something I've wanted for years that they finally have, where I'm like, okay, I need that. But yeah, I think the whole thing's stupid. I think, if they use it for things like, concert ticket validation or things like that, smart contracts are probably a good thing because you can trace them back to the source. But like, I own some cryptocurrency, but like, yeah, I'm going to stop short of buying a fucking, JPEG for, $100 or whatever, just to be like, hey, I own this. Who the fuck cares? Anyway, yeah. I don't care what other people do with their money. I really don't. I really don't.
Joe Cena.
No. I thought it said John Cena, and I was like, I'm like, no, they've already done that. And then you said you pointed out that no, he said Joe Cena. So why you gotta get Laura going on shit like this, Coaster? I know that's that's. I don't even know how that whole thing. I guess because I have a toy spinner belt my buddy bought for me. So it's like it's got sentimental value. So we were just we were doing the podcast the one day, and there was this video floating around the internet at the time of all the fucking web browsers, and Internet Explorer was just like, it has the little thing going around, and it just goes wee. So I had the spinner belt. I'm like wee. I don't even know where that. I think it's in the basement. It's in the basement somewhere, probably in the box full of wrestling figures that had to get taken down off the shelf because I didn't have room for them. Which is probably going to happen again once I get this item I ordered from WWE Shop. It's going to go probably right with all the Macho Man Randy Savage stuff up top shelf there. Anyway,
Joey Cena.
Yeah. Why did I share that story on the air? Why? Why did I tell that story on the anyway?
You just walked right into it.
I did. I gave Laura something to troll me with every week from now on. As usual. Anyways. So yeah, I saw the Dreadnoughts. I was gonna go to Milky's on Friday. I never got around to it. Partly because I had a deadline that I needed to catch up on. My landlady happened to be at the Sabres game, and I commented on her post like, "Hey, I think you're like right below me. I'm in the 300 level on the same end." And she's like, "So do you need a ride home?" Like, sure.
There you go.
Why not?
You have to pay for Uber,
right? Or wait for a bus or anything.
Oh yeah. Save some money.
Favorite ECW Raven. Easily Raven. Favorite ECW wrestler.
Favorite ECW wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh god. I would have to say
I'm waiting for him to say Ezekiel Jackson or something. You went with The Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez as the match that got you into wrestling.
No. Rob.
All right. All right. Laura's in there with Hack Myers. The original Shaw of ECW, yeah. Coaster's spinner belt is with his masks. I have a Patriot mask. That's the one mask I have. I used to have a Rey Mysterio mask.
Patriot?
I have a Patriot mask. So before I was dating Karina, we had this show at, it was a Halloween show at fucking Stamps. And she was coming by with pizza. And she comes in the door and she's trying to get up the steps at Stamps, but she's got the pizza in the door. She's trying to like show her ID to the door. I'm wearing this Patriot mask. It was just like, hey, look, something cheap to buy and wear for the fucking Halloween thing. So I'm wearing this Patriot mask. She did not fucking know it was me. She had this look of terror when I went to help her with the pizza. She thought I was trying to steal the pizza from her. I'm like, no, it's me. Like, yeah. But, because, that's a full face mask, so you can just tuck the beard right up in it.
Yeah.
Not worry about having it, like, stick out. So, yeah, I used to own a Rey Mysterio. I actually shared the picture the other day of me with the Rey Mysterio mask, and my buddy was painted up like the Hurricane outside of WrestleMania 19 in Seattle. So, there you go. Vince McMahon is my favorite ECW wrestler. He's a former ECW champion.
Yes, I remember. When
Do-rag Vince.
the do-rag and
Fucking Matt Cardona went to a GCW show when he was a GCW champion, dressed up in the do-rag and the black shirt and all that. Oh man, yeah. No, Raven has always been one of my favorite wrestlers in general, let alone an ECW wrestler. I got to meet him. Brian was also a huge Raven fan. We both got to meet him, so that was cool.
I remember when he was Johnny Polo.
Johnny Polo. I was watching a video last night about wrestlers who left WWE and made themselves better and came back better. And Raven was one of them. And it's like they told the story of like Vince not realizing that Raven was Johnny Polo, and he saw him in the hall. And he's like, "Who hired Johnny Polo back?" Do I watch any Mexican like AAA or CMLL? I tried to catch Triple Mania, and I didn't this year. But for the most part, no. I did watch almost the entirety of Lucha Underground. I was super excited because it was bad. Like it was the full series was available on Tubi, and then I watched like 3 episodes, and then it wasn't available anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I was like, okay, where else can I watch it? And it's like you can buy it for $1.99 an episode. I'm like, I don't want to spend that much fucking money to watch this. Laura used to watch a lot of CMLL, apparently. Greatest LA Park versus La Parka from Triple Mania. Very bloody and awesome. I think my favorite bloody, like hardcore style match would be Vampiro versus Pentagon at Ultimo Lucha 1 on Lucha Underground. So I could get into that style for sure. How did we become a wrestling podcast all of a sudden? Just everything is wrestling now. We're a local music podcast, man.
Yeah.
Some of these artists are tuning in like, what the fuck are these guys talking about before they play my song here? Don't worry, we'll promote your shows. That's what we're here for. Plug your stuff. So there's a show going on at the Soup tomorrow night. And actually, we're going to talk about it later because Smitten for Trash is actually on it. There's a show going on at the Soup. And I was at Milky's a couple of weeks ago, and there was also a show going on at the Soup that same night. And I'm talking to Ryan from the Struggle is Super Long Name podcast. And we're just, talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a show at the Soup going on tonight. That's a, burlesque show or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know where the Soup is, or I'd probably be there." And he goes, "Oh, I know where it is. Does that make me a punk? Because it always says Ask a Punk on the flyer." So they got this event page up for this show going on at the Soup tomorrow night. And for the address, it says Ask a Punk or Ryan.
All right.
So I guess, no, Ryan, you're not a punk. Sorry, dude. That's not co-host Ryan. That's the Ryan from the other All WNY podcast. So anyway, yeah. This is how we got into wrestling. Is El Generico blames Laura and maybe himself. And okay, there we go. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song?
My favorite song?
What's your favorite song?
Oh shit, I got a lot though.
Right? How do you answer that question? How do you answer that? So like, it's kind of a thing where it depends on your mood. It depends what day it is. Right? Like stuff like that. Right? At least for me, that's how it is. I don't know. Top 10.
Top 10? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, man. Top 10.
I'm not going to go top 10. I could give you like a top 3, but like.
I could give you 1 or 2.
Give me 1 or 2.
1 or 2?
Yeah, give me one. Give me a couple. What are some of your favorite songs? Let's get an insight into the mind of into the musical mind of John here.
All right. Well, you don't like them.
Okay.
But my favorite band is The Used.
Oh, fuck. I almost got into a fight with their lead singers, so, yeah, anyway. In my mind, I did.
Oh.
Anyway.
It have to be, first songs I ever listened to was Bury Myself Alive off the first record.
Mm-hmm.
My second band. Wow. It's actually I got really into Blink-182. I'm a big Travis Barker fan. So
Travis Barker just got married
congratulations
to a Kardashian.
Song-wise from them, I would have to say All the Small Things.
Okay. You went really commercial
Yeah.
there. You went from like, I like the Used and I like this deep cut off their first album to I like
Blink-182, I'm happy.
I like the biggest song Blink-182 ever released.
Yeah.
You
Or
gotta
First
stop
Date.
squeaking that chair, man. That's driving me nuts.
Sorry.
I gotta oil that thing at some point.
First Date by Blink.
First Date, okay. So my top two would be like November Rain, Guns N' Roses.
Of course.
And
You gotta pick Guns N' Roses.
And not even, I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Every time.
I was not even thinking about that.
Now
Anyway,
you are.
now I am because you mentioned it. You could have just not mentioned it. It wouldn't have come up. So this is Axel over here. Anyway.
Yes, I'm Axel.
Anyway.
Axel Rose. I can pass for his son, though.
Metallica 1 is usually what I say when it's my favorite song. And just like anything off of Justice, really. Like that's my favorite Metallica album. But I mean, I really I've been getting more into punk bands and like female fronted punk bands a lot. So like those are my all time like two favorite songs. But like I'm also like I've been really lately into what the fuck is the name of that song? The Rest of My Life by Less Than Jake, which we're going to see actually. Also what the fuck is the name of it? It's a Duran Duran song from the 90s.
Duran.
Yeah, what the fuck is it? It was like their big fucking song, "Ordinary World" by Duran Duran, like which are very like similar kind of songs. If you think about it, like that Less Than Jake song and the Duran Duran song, a very similar subject matter of like, man, this person's gone and this is going wrong and like that kind of stuff. So but. It really depends what mood I'm in, I guess, what I'm listening to and what what my favorite song of the moment happens to be. And and John says his favorite song is Mama, I'm Coming Home, Ozzy Osbourne. It's a good one. It's a good one. Really, really good, very, very good musicianship there. Is Taylor Swift, this is a question directed to you.
Oh boy.
Is Taylor Swift a rock musician? She got a guitar.
She does. I'm probably going to say no on this one. I mean, she does play guitar, so I'll give her that.
I'll tell you what, man. I was talking to somebody, I was chatting with somebody the other day, and I said, what was your favorite concert you ever went to? And she said, Taylor Swift in Pittsburgh. And I said, man, I wouldn't mind seeing Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift is a fucking badass. And she really is. So like, I really need to cough, but I'm not going to do it on the mic. So anyway.
Let it out, man.
No, I'm not going to do it on air. But Taylor Swift is a badass, but no, I wouldn't say she's a rock musician. Yeah. Dolly Parton. Let's talk about Dolly Parton real quick before we go to the song break, because Dolly Parton was up for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year.
I heard about that.
And Dolly Parton said, "No, I don't deserve that. Take my name off that list. I've never released a rock song. I'm gonna release a rock song now. Like, I'm going to do a rock album, but until I do, I don't want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and take a spot away from somebody who deserves to be there." And that is Dolly Parton's a badass too. So,
That's what's up.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to get into more music in a second here. And that is, we've got, a friend of the show here, Miss Mindy Davy, just released a brand new single, new music video. I don't know if the music videos, I know Gumshoe did a music video for the song we played earlier, and I believe that one's out. I don't think the video for this is out yet, but it will be soon. And this is the newest single from Mindy Davy, and the song is called Fake Friends on All WNY Think So Joe Show.
Yeah. Fake ass friends. Yeah. Oh my God, Mindy. Friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no aim. Friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no aim. Let the haters talk, cause I walk the walk. I stay to myself, and the most of y'all always stirring up, spreading all the drama. I can't do this high school shit any longer. I keep my true friends, yeah, we're real close. Then the fake ones, yeah, I pulled a ghost. I don't need to be associated with someone 10 minutes later talking shit. That's a fake friend, and you should watch your back. Look around, cause you probably got friends like that. Yeah, they'll turn their back, they don't care about you. They just want your money and to party harder. Yeah, I know you think that all your friends are real. Some are little rats who steals your ideas. So keep it hush hush and never say a word. Let the haters talk, cause they'll crash and burn. Friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no aim. Friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no aim. See, I learned the rule, yeah, I've learned the lesson. Yeah, we're back at school, so y'all pay attention. Make sure that you take some notes. This is great information, so factual. And in life in the future, you'll experience it too. When your friends turn around and turn their back on you. And it's sad but true, and I've learned the deal. Keep your enemies closer, but just know who's real and understand who's fake. Don't let them steal your moves. Let the haters talk, cause you'll never lose. They have a plan in play and a goal in mind to watch you fall and fail every single time. It's funny how some people say it's all about us. Yeah, we're all in this together and it's all about love. But they steal your ideas, your shows, and your designs. They don't have their own talent, so they try and steal mine. Yeah, friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no aim. Friends talk, no love, no one. They fake, undercover, load up. They shoot, bang, 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 bang. It's so cute, cause they ain't got no game.
Mindy Davy, All WNY Think So Joe Show, a song called Fake Friends. I'm very clearly putting my headphones back on. It should be noted that when we're not on the air, the music's coming through the speakers in here. We are listening to the songs as you guys are. I actually hadn't listened to that before. So like it's available on Spotify and like Apple Music, and I couldn't find it on YouTube Music, which is what I have. Actually, I should probably check Tidal because I have that too. So I just went and bought it on Amazon. Okay, so somebody asked earlier if Taylor Swift was a rock musician, and now somebody else is in the chat because of that. So, oh, nice Silence the Cynic shirt, man.
Oh, thank you.
We both have, I went to make a Silence the Cynic shirt for a show, and I was like, anybody else want anything? And you're like, I'll take a Silence the Cynic shirt. I'm like, we're going to wear the same thing? Okay. It's kind of weird, so I made yours different than mine. Anyway. Brian. I miss Brian.
Yeah, me too.
There's not a day that goes by where I'm not like, oh man, Brian would fucking love this. You know? So, anyway. So you and I, we got tickets to see the Aquabats, Less Than Jake, and not blowing for soup, John. Bowling for soup.
I spelled it wrong.
John had a little typo in our group chat. I don't know what blowing for soup is, but anyway, it sounds like Rule 43 or whatever. You know, if it exists, there's Taylor Swift is a god. I don't know if I'd go that far, but she is definitely a badass. So, anyway, So we both kind of agreed in the prior segment about a Less Than Jake song that we both like, which I've actually learned to play on guitar because I kind of got like hooked on it after you guys like played it for whatever reason at your band practice that Ryan and I were at last week. Just played it on the phone, like, okay, I like this song, but why are we listening to it? And then I came home and I'm like, I learned how to play it. But anyway. So have you seen Less Than Jake?
Warped Tour.
Warped Tour, okay. So I've definitely seen Less Than Jake on a Warped Tour, but before that I've probably seen them on Warped Tours as well. The first time I really like went to a Less Than Jake show, I was there for Real Big Fish, because they were touring together. And Real Big Fish went on before Less Than Jake, and I'm there with my ex-wife, right? And it's at Town Ballroom, and you know how they got the the levels to it, and they got the guardrails on each level.
Yeah.
So we're on the second level, and we're just leaned up against the guardrail. Real Big Fish already played. Less Than Jake came out. I wasn't like super into them at the time. Like I got into them more like in the last like 5-6 years. So, and my ex didn't really like them either. So she's just like this, watching the show. And the lead singer of Less Than Jake goes, "Hey, you there with your boyfriend. Yeah, you look bored. Why don't you guys come up on stage?" And we got to go up on stage with Less Than Jake, and I watched the rest of the show from the drum riser. And like, the bass player's like handing me a beer. Like, here you go, man. Like, yeah, I'm on stage drinking with Less Than Jake. This is cool. Bowling for Soup. Have you seen them?
Actually, just one time.
Okay.
They played at Warped Tour. That was 2014.
Was that when?
Maybe it was 2014.
Okay. Because I saw them on Warped Tour in like 2004 or 3. Whatever the first year they moved to Darien Lake, I saw Bowling for Soup.
Okay. No, I saw them 2014. It was really shitty out.
No, it was nice out when I saw them at Warped Tour. I saw them at the Buffalo Icon with American Hi-Fi and MC Lars, which I think was after I saw them at Warped Tour. I don't know. I've seen them a couple of times. How about the Aquabats? Have you ever seen the Aquabats? Are you familiar with the Aquabats?
No.
I know you're like, yeah, Bowling for Soup. Like, oh, cool, Less Than Jake. You don't know anything about the Aquabats?
No.
Okay. So the Aquabats are a band of superheroes. And they fight villains.
Okay, I might have saw them.
Okay. Yeah, they had a TV show for a little while called the Aquabats Super Show. It aired on a network called The Hub. And if you've ever seen that show, that is exactly what it's like going to an Aquabats concert. So we're going to Pittsburgh for that. That's they're not coming to Buffalo. And so it was like, oh, who wants to go to Pittsburgh before I buy bus tickets and go by myself? So we're going to Pittsburgh for that. That's gonna be a good show, man. It's gonna be fun.
Good time.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Aquabats, you're really gonna love that. I saw them the first time, 4th of July, 2004, at the Buffalo Icon, and yeah, that was a ton of fun, and it was like a 4th of July show, and for an encore they did pool party. They're like, hey, we can't have a 4th of July party without a pool party. I just saw them recently at a few years ago at Town Ballroom. They were with actually MC Lars, who I saw Bowling for Soup with the first at the Icon, and who the fuck else was I? Cuckoo Kangaroo was on that show too, which is a very interesting group. So, all right, what do we got? Good bands to see live. Good band to see live. Swedish metal band Soilwork. I think I've heard of them. I don't know if I've seen them. Laura wants to know if you're friends with Meg Ryan, by which she means Ryan.
Bases?
Yes. Yes, he's friends with Meg Ryan. She was calling him Meg Ryan the entire time he was on the show. So, yes. Yes. Anyway. So, what else you got coming, like, show-wise? You going to any other shows? Or we're supposed to go to Motley Crue or something, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go to that.
Are we doing that? We're still doing that? Good.
Yes, but...
Good. I want to see Joan Jett. I don't give a fuck about anybody. Poison, too, I guess.
Poison.
So John's hair is better. That's because John has hair. John can still grow hair. Enjoy it. I'm just the reason I wear a hat on the show every week is because I don't feel like shaving my head. Kitty was one of the best concerts John's ever been to. I haven't seen them. They're on that big like emo festival that's got like 4 or 5 dates that people are just like, that is going to be such a disaster. You know what I'm talking? I can't remember the name of it. When we were young, is that what the fuck that was? Somebody in the comments will know what I'm talking about. They're supposed to be on that, and it's like, why the fuck is Kitty on this? Like they don't fit with any of the rest of the acts on here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely so like that's the night before Metallica too. Is that Motley Crue show, which when we were young. My friend Amanda Paul is in the chat. I haven't seen it. So one of the Warp Tours at Darien Lake. My friend Amanda, who's in the chat here, and she's on Facebook, so we're gonna have to use the Restream bot here to put that up. I worked a Warp Tour. I actually had gotten into this Warp Tour like for free twice over because I was trying to start an entertainment blog. So I was like getting like photo passes and interview passes and shit like that. So I got in for Warp Tour. And I also got into Warp Tour doing the Fanscape booth. And Amanda was working the Fanscape booth with me at that Warp Tour, which was cool. So that was years ago. The Offspring were like the big, Avenged Sevenfold, I think, were like the biggest act on that show. But it poured. So like, you know, we were all just soaked by the end of it. Yeah, it was so long ago. It absolutely was. I don't even remember what year that was. Opinions from both of you on Body Count. Body Count, Ice-T.
Okay.
Yeah. You like Body Count?
Yeah.
Body Count's good. Body Count's good in my book. I don't own any of their stuff. I need to. I think I got to go out and get that. Like JT from the wrestling podcast, he's super into Body Count. So, you know. Ripping down the tent in lightning. Yes, that's exactly what happened. It's pouring rain, and we have to tear down this fucking tent that we were working in. And it's just pouring, and like the show just fucking stopped. It was terrible. The weather was just awful that day. Just terrible. I mean, like, it was nice until it started pouring. And then it started pouring. And there was nowhere to fucking hide because you're at Darien Lake, right? So, like, you're just out in the fucking elements.
Yeah.
It was awful, just terrible. Like, I mean, it wasn't like cold rain. So it could have been worse. But it was still shitty. Get your ThinkSoJoE merch. Merch.thinksojoe.com. It's the only, really? Apparently that was Amanda's only Warp Tour she ever made it to. I've been to many, many, many Warp Tours. I worked the last one. We did a live podcast from Warp Tour by the local stage. It was a joint podcast with the ThinkSoJoE show and The Struggle Is Real, Buffalo Music Podcast. Hey, look, I actually said the name of your podcast, Ryan. Yeah, we did. It was raining that day too, so that was fun. Like having to kind of like guard all the equipment from the rain. But we broadcast from there, and what was cool was they hooked us up to the mixer for the local stage. Yeah. So in between bands, they were just playing the live broadcast that we were doing, and we got to like introduce the bands as they came up on stage. That was so cool. Like, we got to interview Kevin Lyman, and unfortunately, none of this fucking exists because somehow my thing wasn't set up to record.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know if that was the first time I ever tried to do a live broadcast from that laptop, and it just wasn't like checked by default or whatever, or if it just unchecked itself, but for whatever reason, I went to go upload shit the next day, and it was all gone, including the fucking interview with Warp Tour founder Kevin Lyman. Like, damn, that fucking sucked to lose all that. It was so cool to get to do it. And shout out to Kaiser Soze for making all that happen. But, you know, yeah, that sucked. Anyway, watch on YouTube Body Count performing Slayer's Raining Blood. It's really awesome. I have to check that out. Body Count's cover of Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies. Great song. You've seen Suicidal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Suicidal. I saw Suicidal in 99 when I was just getting into, like, you know, rock music. And, like, I knew who they were, and I'm like, oh, that's that band that did Institutionalized. And I went and watched them play, and they didn't play that. And I don't remember shit else from that set, because that was the one song I knew by them back then. Now I'm just like, yeah, fucking Suicidal shit. Yeah, let's go. You know? Kind of bummed I missed the fucking Circle Jerks last week. They were here. They were at fucking Mohawk. And I was like on the fence going, and I was like, 35 by. And then I think I overslept, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going. Would I rather go to Ozfest or Warped Tour? I'll defer that question to you first. Ozfest or Warped Tour? Think about it, man. You got Ozfest, you got you got Ozzy, you got Slipknot. How long ago are we talking Ozfest? Like Pantera? You know, like bands like Slaves on Dope on that show.
I've always been a punk rock kid, so I have
Warped
to say
Tour.
Warped Tour.
Warped Tour. For me, I've never been to an Ozfest, and I would definitely take Warped over Ozfest. And that even goes back to when I didn't realize I was a punk kid and wanted, was like, yeah, heavy metal rules. I still probably would have taken Warped, except I never got to see Pantera, and I'm really bummed about it. I really would have loved to have seen Pantera. I've never seen Ozzy either, and I'm a little disappointed in myself for having never gone to see Ozzy. But yeah, I'm definitely a Warped Tour kid, man. Like, give me No Effects and fucking Newfound Glory and Save Ferris and fucking Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake and all those Warped Tour bands and shit. Give me those. I definitely, there was at one point, just once, a joint Warped Tour and Ozfest show. And I don't remember how this came about. If you go back into the Things You Might Not Know archives and watch the video about Warped Tour, I talk about that. But I did that video like 3 years ago before we did the last Warped Tour. But apparently there was one day where like both were booked and they're just like, fuck it, let's do it together, or something happened like that. So I don't know. Oh man, lead singer of Drowning, you went to the one. I mean, he didn't die at the show, I don't think. But like he died like right before the show? The lead singer of Drowning Pool? Is that what happened? I saw them with Dave Williams. Not a full show. I saw them at WrestleMania 18 up in Toronto. They played Tearaway, which is a fucking great song. Died before the show. Okay. They played Tearaway, which was a fucking fantastic song, and they also played who the fuck's theme song? They played Triple H to the Ring.
Triple H, yeah.
Yeah. And Saliva also played on that WrestleMania, and I saw them at an Edge Fest a few years later, and I met them, and I'm like, hey man, last time I saw you guys, you were playing in front of 68,000 screaming wrestling fans who had no idea who you were, and they're like, yeah, WrestleMania. I'm like, yeah, I just insulted you, but okay, cool. Yeah, WrestleMania. Anyway, yeah. I liked Drowning Pool, and I liked Dave Williams's voice. I really was like, and they were like doing auditions, like fan auditions for like the new singer and shit. I was like, man, I wish I could fucking sing, even though I was a singer in a heavy metal band just prior to that. Like, I wish I could sing, and I wish I could sing like Dave fucking Williams could fucking sing like on Tearaway. And because that would have been my fucking audition song for sure if I could actually fucking sing. But I can't, so I didn't.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, you could have been this fucking lead singer of Drowning Pool. I didn't know you then. I would have suggested you.
Yeah.
Same with Stone Temple Pilots. Stone Temple Pilots did the same thing. Like they did a fan vote thing, and some of my friends actually did audition for it, and they were posting their fucking auditions publicly too. It was cool. My buddy Ski was one of the best I ever fucking heard singing some of those Stone Temple Pilots songs. So.
I saw them like 2 years ago at Rapids.
Stone Temple Pilots? I thought about going to that show with the new singer.
Show.
Yeah. The new guy doesn't sound bad.
No, actually, he sounds just.
I saw
similar.
them with Scott Weiland. So
I got to do set up the drum set for them. So
okay,
that was pretty cool.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I saw them like before Scott died. So, so I saw them on a show. It was Stone Temple Pilots, Linkin Park, Static X, and Stained, and Dead Z. And if you look at those first three bands, they all have one thing in common. Their lead singers are all dead. So it's like, man, I'm so glad I got to see those bands when I did. You know, I was not the biggest Linkin Park fan past like Hybrid Theory, Meteora. Like once they got into Meteora, it's like, it's more of the same. And then they changed too much. So it's like, that's way too much. Like that's way far off in a different direction and I don't like it. Thanks for liking the stream, Scott Jablonski. Anyway, Laura wants to know, well, first of all, did anyone notice that Drowning Pool and Motorhead sang the wrong lyrics at WrestleMania? I think, so Drowning Pool sang their own version of that song, which was different from the Motorhead version. And, you know, Lemmy's just fucking Lemmy. So, you know, Lemmy is God. I know Taylor Swift was referred to as God earlier, but it is established. It is a known fact that Lemmy was in fact God. I saw like the anniversary of his death that just recently passed, and I saw a thing I shared where, you know, Lemmy walks into heaven and sees God, and he says, "Get out of my chair, mate." So Laura wants to know, how old is John in hours? Look, you got the Restream bot treatment, Laura. She wants to know how old you are in hours.
Hours?
Hours. So you might want to get on your phone there and type in hours since the day you were born. I'm being told. Okay, first of all, Linkin Park lost a lot of fans after Hybrid. Yeah, for sure. Me being one of. I loved Reanimation. I now own Meteora on vinyl, but that was because it was a Record Store Day exclusive blue vinyl. And I'm like, why am I so excited about this when I can literally just go buy a black version now? But it was Record Store Day. So I was like, I gotta buy something. And I'm told I'm lying when I say that Lemmy is God. You've seen Airheads.
Yes.
Lemmy is God.
Lemmy is God.
Who would win in a wrestling match, Lemmy or God? Trick question. Lemmy is God.
Lemmy is God. Or the classic line is, who did you go for? David Lee Roth or Van Halen? Van Halen. Oh, he's a cop.
Yep. Don't like. I haven't heard anything from Static X since Wayne died, so I don't have an opinion on that. No, emojis don't show up on this, and I can't put your fucking post up, Laura, because it's too long. I can do it from the Restream bot. There we go. Oh, look, the emoji showed up on the Restream bot. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Why can't you buy a digital copy of Airheads anywhere? That's what I want to know. There's got to be some kind of licensing issue because you can't find that movie anywhere. I have it on DVD, fortunately, so I can watch it whenever I want. But like, I'm lazy and I don't want to get out of bed to put a DVD in.
Is it on Netflix?
No, I don't think so. We'll find out. Let's find out right now.
I could have sworn it's on Netflix.
Let's find out right now. We'll go to Just Watch. We'll find out. So Just Watch, and we're looking for Airheads. We're gonna see if we can watch Airheads.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Dude, I love that movie. Airheads. 1994. It's apparently on HBO Max. So there we go. I can watch it later. I don't have to put the DVD in.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, we're going to talk about the Lone Rangers in a second because I just saw a chat, but we're going to... Oh, is this frozen? No, there we go. Okay. Let's see. DVD, what are you, a caveman? No. I worked at Blockbuster when DVDs first came out. So that was the new technology at the time. The Lone Rangers are one of the greatest bands, along with Steel Dragon. And Steel Dragon, correct me if I'm wrong, is the band from Rockstar, which was a Joe Knows Jack a couple of years ago, when Brian was still co-hosting and that was still a thing. So here's the biggest disappointment for me as a fan of the movie Airheads, and that is that the Lone Rangers broke into the radio station, took all these people hostage to get a cover song played on the fucking air, and then had the audacity to be like, I wrote that song for you. Like, no. Reagan Youth wrote that song in the 80s. To this day, though, XM Priory actually plays that song in honor of Brian, because Brian was like, you guys would do a killer cover of Degenerated. And so they started doing a cover of Degenerated, and to this day, they still play it. They played it at the Muller Mania last year.
Yes,
which we got to book Muller Mania too. We have the date for it. I got to book bands. So
we're gonna have T-shirts.
We gotta have T-shirts. We gotta do T-shirts.
Gotta do the WrestleMania logo.
We'll get. I'll get them done locally. We'll get with the WrestleMania 2 logo, but it'll be Muller Mania. Yeah, for sure.
Can't say we're performing. But
we are unfortunately unavailable that night again. So
but we will be there.
We will be there. We will definitely. I will have details when I finally start booking bands for it, which I need to do because it's now April and that's going to be in July. I've also got a date in June I need to book. So the Living Brain Dead versus the Lone Rangers, who would win? Let's see. There's 3 of them, right? So
there's 4 of us.
There's 3 of them, 4 of us. And, Katie kind of towers over all of them. So, I don't know, man. Brendan Fraser may be...
I don't know how to answer
Brendan
that.
Fraser's got kind of chunky lately, so...
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, then again, I'm kind of chunky, so... Ryan looks like he could go in a fight. I'm sure he wouldn't mind punching Adam Sandler in the face, so... I don't know. I think we got the numbers advantage, so I think we take them. And we write our own songs, mostly. People were, we played a couple of covers at the last song, at the last show, and people were kind of reacting to the first one we played, like, did you just Rickroll us? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
we did.
There's a lot more coming your way.
Yep, definitely. You got that 80s cover album that we're starting to work on a little bit, and hopefully, we're taking our time on it, so we're not rushing on it. Don't expect it any time in the next, couple of months or anything, but, we're getting there.
You're all going to love it.
Oh, yeah, it's so far so good, man.
So really good.
This man went out and bought a cowbell for it.
Yes.
I
love the cowbell now. I should have did it a long time ago.
He came, he's like, I got to go to Guitar Center. You coming with me? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming with you. And then he's like, looking at the cowbells. So we're just kind of comparing the different cowbells, just kind of flicking them, and it's like, tick, 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 tick. He's just a common man.
Maybe that's the next song.
Maybe. My buddy Andrew J. Reimers was supposed to come on when we were doing the wrestling podcast. Was supposed to come on and do that, and that was the weekend. That was when we had that really bad snowstorm where it was 6 feet of snow, and I couldn't get home for 5 days from my old job, and he ended up sending in the Big Boss Man's theme instead. Opinions on Rollins Band. I've only really heard Liar, and I like that song. I like Henry Rollins in general. I didn't go see him when he was here. What about you? Henry Rollins Band.
Rollins Band?
Yeah, Rollins Band. Are you familiar with the Rollins Band, really?
No.
Okay. So it's Henry Rollins, basically solo project. He does that song Liar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the song I know. So I don't really have a good, enough information to form an opinion in full on Rollins Band. So, but I like the stuff I do know. So we'll leave it at that. We got to get in some music here. In 40 seconds anyway. But there's a band, I never heard of this band until just today. When I was programming music, they have a CD release coming up. Used the wrong mouse again. Anyway, They have an album release coming up this Friday at Nietzsche's. They're releasing, the album is now available. You can get it on all streaming services. It's called Street Sage. They're performing at Nietzsche's with Orange Corner at 9 p.m. $7 at the door, 21 and up, because it is a Nietzsche's show. That's Friday night. And the band is called Loaded and Gorgeous. And this is a brand new song from them, and it's very long, so stick with us. It's called Street Stage on All WNY, ThinkSoJoE Show.
I walked down to the water once to take off a big load. I woke up on the shore of Lower River Road. Two spirits greeted me, told me Timmy was old. I asked them what a wanderer could offer their abode. Yeah, on the street stage, working for a weed wage, and I'm afraid that I can't turn a new page. You can rock on your stage, rip it while we all rage, rock the demons of the dawn with the hay. Hey, they led me to an altar of sunlight neath the trees. Four cats gliding through the air and through the breeze. Spirit said, here is your band, make music for us, please. The sky tied and all the clouds turned to elegies. Damn, this is strange, let's not try to enrage me. Got a holy freaking dicky magical stage. Let's not try to engage, shout like we're from Buffalo. Rock the demons of the dawn with the hay. Hey, hey, hey. as our music filled the air. They shot out of our instruments, made stones of those who stared. The spirits froze in place, never did declare that our songs were worthy, so we're stuck here in their lair. Yeah, I'm still a street sage, working for a weed wage, and I'm afraid that I can't turn a new page. You can rock on your stage, whip it while we all rage, rock the demons of the dawn with a hey.
Loaded and Gorgeous, the song called Street Sage on all WNY Think So Joe show. Definitely worth the 7 minutes. I was telling you, I recorded it earlier and it stopped midway through, so I had to like start it over again. It did not feel like 7 minutes because it's such a good song. So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So before we went to the song break, we got a question here, which was, better bass player, Steve Buscemi or Hulk Hogan? Well, I mean, Hulk Hogan, if you ask him, he was going to be the bass player for Metallica.
I would love to see that. I would love to see Hulk Hogan.
I asked
with
Hulk
Metallica.
Hogan on Twitter once. I said, "Man, you really think you could have hung with Metallica?" He's like, "Oh, not as good as the guy they got now." Like, yeah. I'll tell you what, man. I do have an album with Hulk Hogan on it, and not like, and like that's besides like
Yeah.
the wrestling albums, like Wrestling Album 2 Pile Driver. I have both of those, but like Hulk Hogan doesn't actually sing on those. What I have is Hulk Hogan and Green Jello, Leader of the Gang. I have that on vinyl because I have all of the rest of Green Jello's shit. So it's like, well, how could I not have the one with him with Green Jello and Hulk Hogan? Now that I know this is a thing that exists. So so the question that was just asked, John versus Joe hardcore match, who wins? What style hardcore match? Like ECW hardcore match or like WWE hardcore match? How limited am I in the weapons I can hit him with?
Please.
I mean,
Let us know.
I mean, he's a lot smaller than I am. I think I could take him.
Real quick, dude.
Yeah, that you might be able to get. It'd be like okay, ECW. So yeah, if I could get my hands on like ECW weapons, yeah, you might be fucked, dude.
We will put on a really good show.
I don't know, man. Give me a giant fucking mousetrap like Johnny Knoxville the other day.
I get.
We do not need to get back on this shit, by the way.
Get out of that.
We don't need to get back on this. Just Sami Zayn couldn't. We don't need to get back on this topic, by the way. Anyway, we spent a fucking hour talking about this shit. Anyway, yeah. So music. So that was Loaded and Gorgeous. You can catch them at Nietzsche's on Friday nights. Their album release for the album of the same name, Street Sage. That's 9 p.m. $7 at the door, 21 and up. So go check them out if you got nothing to do on Friday nights, which I don't think I have anything to do on Friday night, so I might. Saturday night, by the way, go see Shambles.
Yes. Our bass player's band.
There's some stuff going on Saturday night, and I actually kind of double booked myself because I was going to go to the show down at Mohawk on Saturday night. It's one of my Facebook friends is going away. I've never actually met her in person, but I was going to go be like, hey, you got some good bands on the show. You know, Spud's on the show. Gentleman of Age is on the show. So I was like, man, that sounds like a good show. There's nothing else going on. I'm going to go. And then Shambles was like, hey, we're doing a Blink-182 set along with Wrestle with Jimmy doing a whole Weezer set. So, like, okay, I guess I'm going to go to fucking Good Bar instead. Yeah, I'll be at Good Bar. You're going, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll be at Good Bar, checking out Shambles. That's going to be a good show. if you're into Blink 182, Weezer, that kind of stuff, like that's gonna be a good show for you. I think they might sneak in some originals, maybe. Honestly, hopefully.
We'll have to wait and see.
You know, I was asked about, you know, bands in the region I like when I was doing this interview earlier, and it's like, you know, well, my favorite band is Shambles, and that's not just because we share a bass player. So, you know, but it's harder and harder to see Shambles playing Shambles songs these days. They're doing all these Blink covers and stuff. Mohawk's gonna have that cool show going on. Smitten for Trash, who we're playing later, they're at Timeless Babes out in Tonawanda.
Yeah.
Which is my friend Becca's store. So you know, go check out the show and buy some stuff. We'll talk more about that in a minute. John wants to know, do we prefer lead singer solo projects or their band's music? I guess it probably depends.
Depends.
It depends on who it is, right? So, I mean, give me some examples. Give me a band, and I will tell you a band and a singer, and I'll tell you which I prefer. I guess I guess it really depends. So, like, are we talking like Ozzy and Black Sabbath? Do I prefer Ozzy or do I prefer Black Sabbath? I mean, what's the difference? I mean, you're talking like Geezer Butler or Randy Rhoads here. So, I mean, Ozzy Sabbath. There we go. Okay. Yeah, he asked after I started talking about it. I mean, they both have their charm. Sabbath is always going to be classic.
True.
Ozzy keeps putting out shit for some reason. I haven't heard a lot of Ozzy's newer stuff, so I can't really comment on that. But, you know, can you really separate Ozzy and like? And then Black Sabbath went on to do stuff with Dio, and then do you say Dio and do you say, you know, Rainbow, and is Dio better than Rainbow? Is Rainbow and Black Sabbath equal in that regard because Dio sang for both of them, and then Black Sabbath became Heaven and Hell with Dio singing for? It's a whole mess, man.
Yeah.
Stone Sour and Slipknot. I like Stone Sour. I like Slipknot. Not gonna lie, but I do like Stone Sour. I like that more mellow stuff. So like even when Slipknot does like a more Stone Sour kind of song,
Yeah.
I like that better than like the heavier Slipknot stuff. And that's not to
I
knock
love Stone Sour, but like if I want to get pumped up for a show,
Slipknot.
I'm playing. I'm listening to Slipknot.
Yeah, definitely that first Slipknot record, man. Just I got a bootleg fucking vinyl of that, and you can when you listen to it, it's definitely not mixed for vinyl. Like it is definitely somebody had an MP3 and pressed a vinyl. Like, but and I didn't know that at the time. It was not like indicated at all that it was not an actual fucking pressing of the record. Which, to my knowledge, there's not an actual pressing of the record, just this bootleg. But I love that first Slipknot record for sure. And then it was another band like Linkin Park where I kind of fell out of it. But if I'm listening to their like more recent stuff, I like the slower stuff, which is why I can say like Stone Sour would be my preference out of the two. I like Corey Taylor in general. I did go to a Corey Taylor show and leave early. Mostly because I wanted to see Steel Panther, and I was like, "Fuck, Steel Panther, all right." Like, I don't even give a fuck about Corey Taylor. I kind of wish I would have stayed, but I also kind of didn't. Yeah. So like, I went. Like we had kind of like a working relationship with Rapids, like a number of years ago, and it was back when Brian was still working for Rapids, and they announced the Corey Taylor show, and Fozzy had played the night before, actually, and I went and saw Fozzy. I think I got into that one for free. We got free tickets for that one. We didn't get free tickets for Corey Taylor because I was going to sell out like instantly, and it did. And I was like, Brian, can you get me into this Corey Taylor show? I want to see Steel Panther. I don't give a fuck about Corey Taylor. Y'all can give the ticket away after I fucking leave, after Steel Panther's done. And Brian was like, look. It was like the day before I'm at the Fozzy show. I went to Brian. I'm like, dude, should I go buy a ticket before they sell out, or can you get me in? He's, dude, listen. Even if they sell out, even if they won't let me give you a ticket, I will get you into the show. Just show up. He managed to get me a ticket, but he was going to sneak me in the fucking back door to see fucking Steel Panther and Corey Taylor. That was like my third or fourth Steel Panther show, but, you know. That was also my buddy JT got me into them. Danzig or Misfits. We got Danzig or Misfits, Rollins or Black Flag. Now we've already kind of established that we're not overly familiar with Henry Rollins solo stuff.
Yeah.
So that's not really a fair question, I think. John, I'm getting to that question. I'm getting to that statement as soon as I'm done talking about this. I like Danzig Misfits. Danzig solo stuff is cool, but I'd rather listen to the Misfits, honestly. But not Michael Graves Misfits. Fuck that guy. Fuck him and his fucking Republican ass. Fucking Proud Boy motherfucker. Fuck that guy. Man, we were supposed to open for him. You remember this? We were supposed to open for him. And then he starts going on Twitter and spewing all this fucking Proud Boy white supremacist bullshit. And we were like, Greg, we're not playing with this guy. Take us off this fucking bill. And Greg took us off the bill and he said, keep an eye on this and keep me posted. And he just kept posting shit like that. And we ended up getting his show fucking canceled. And Greg's like, I'm never going to work with this guy again. Fuck this guy. And if you go and you look at, he's got tour dates right now. And if you go and you look at the tour dates, there's no fucking major cities. It's all places you've never fucking heard of. Like, nobody wants to fucking work with this guy because he's spouting off all this, Black Lives Matter stuff and all this fucking white, fucking Proud Boy bullshit. Fuck that guy. You know, when I was waiting for you outside, there's a guy across the street here and he's got like fucking, Blue Lives Matter and Donald Trump fucking flags and shit flying. His Blue Lives Matter flag is in fucking tatters and I'm so fucking happy to see it. Because fuck that guy too. Anyway. Yeah. And there's like Misfits songs that he's on that I'm like, man, I really like that song, but fuck that guy. Like Dig Up Her Bones is a fucking killer song, but fuck that guy. Fuck him. Karina's sister sent me a fucking video on Instagram the other day, and it was from like the Bush administration years. Yeah. And it's Michael Graves talking about being a Republican in punk, and it's done in a very humorous, tongue-in-cheek, like, you're not really punk because you're a Republican, kind of way. And I just responded with basically the same way I just responded to, Misfits with Graves, is fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him. I really wish Macho Man Randy Savage would have kicked his fucking ass. You ever hear this story?
No. Actually.
So the Misfits were in WCW for a little while. You remember that at all?
I do remember that.
So the Misfits were in WCW. They were with fucking Vampiro, right?
Yeah.
Randy Savage at the time was dating the wrestler who was known as Gorgeous George. But she was messing around with fucking Doyle from the Misfits. And Savage fucking knew this, and he cornered Michael Graves and like one of the other fucking members of the band backstage at a fucking Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
And like was like, where the fuck is Doyle? Like, just, Macho Man at that time was fucking huge.
He's ripped.
That was a dude you do not fuck with. And Randy Savage in general was a dude you do not fuck with.
Yeah.
Now, a jacked up fucking Randy Savage, like Ready to Rumble fucking era Randy Savage, that's a dude you do not want to fuck with. No. So he's got two of the fucking Misfits, Michael Graves included, cornered backstage at a fucking Nitro. And Michael Graves is like, I'm sorry, Mr. Man. I don't know where he is, Mr. Man. He was calling him Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man, because he's Macho Man. I don't know where he is, Mr. Man. I'm sorry. And these are Michael Graves' own fucking words. You can find this was a fucking interview that Michael Graves did talking about being cornered backstage and intimidated by Macho Man Randy Savage. So when we were booked on this show and he started spewing all this shit, before we decided to drop off, I was like, I'm wearing a fucking Macho Man shirt to play the show. And we ended up not playing the show. And I'm just like, good. I'm so glad we didn't fucking play with this guy. So, it's kind of how I feel about Johnny Ramone. Loved the music, but he was a huge Bush supporter. I'll tell you what, man, like, fuck George Bush as president, but he's seemed like really cool since then. George W. Bush. Like, he was a shitty fucking president. but like, he has seemed so cool since then. In like, you know, he's like, Donald Trump's a fucking idiot, you know, shit like that. So, you know, I hated him as a president, and we had my old band had a song about lighting him on fire metaphorically. But like, he's mellowed out, and he's just kind of bowed out of the public spotlight, and anytime he pops back up, he's just like, yeah, Donald Trump sucks. I don't know, man. Yeah, I just, it was probably cute during the Bush years to be like, I'm a Republican and punk, but, during the Trump years when it's fucking dangerous and you're spewing off, about how, Black lives don't matter and shit like that, fuck you, dude. Just fuck you. Michael Graves, I hope you're fucking watching this. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I am so glad that he is fucking blacklisted, like, everywhere. Like, fuck that guy. Like, yeah, Dig Up Her Bones, great fucking song. I'm not gonna go out of my fucking way to listen to it because I don't want him to get the 0.2 cents he gets from fucking Spotify anytime I listen to it.
Even Saturday night.
Yeah.
I liked.
Yeah.
He just, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked on this show at length before about separating the art from the artist, and I have such a hard time doing it. And and we started talking about it because of Marilyn Manson. And I'm like, man, I fucking love, Marilyn Manson changed my fucking life in the 90s. You know what I mean? Not as much as like Metallica, but like, I discovered a lot about myself listening to Marilyn Manson. But like, I haven't listened to Marilyn Manson in 2 years, 3 years now. Like, fuck that guy. I'm not going to go out of my way to fucking listen to him because he's a piece of shit. Like, woman beating, tormenting, whatever the fuck he did to Evan Rachel Wood and all these other women that have since come forward. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, it's not as easy to separate the art from the artist as I thought it might have been.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, it's like, I'm not missing his music as much as I thought I would. Because I listened to Manson a ton. I've seen him 4 times. But, I can't support a guy like that. Were you ever a fan of Mushroomhead? I like the stuff I've heard from them, which is not much, honestly.
Yeah.
Was he the dude that went on to do Hell Yeah? Or was that the dude from Mudvayne?
Mudvayne.
Mudvayne, okay. Yeah. I liked Mudvayne. I liked Hell Yeah. I got to see Hell Yeah. Did you work that show?
No.
Okay.
I did see them.
Yeah.
At Darien Lake.
Okay, I saw them at fucking Rapids. Avatar opened for them. I was there with Karina's sister, and Karina's sister fucking loved Avatar. Like, to a point where those guys come out on like little platforms, and they're like covered up, and they wheel the platforms out, and she's just like, they're in there. I'm like, yes, I kind of figured that. And then I saw them, and I'm like, they're okay. I've seen Marilyn Manson before, so this is like nothing. Their music's good, Avatar. Corey Graves, greater than Michael Graves. Yes, absolutely.
Corey Graves all the way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long this last song is. I should probably figure that out before we, let's see, 4:05. So we got about a minute here. So, yeah, you did much better today. You actually talked.
I actually talk more.
I think, some newer viewers who didn't see your last one are kind of like,
you don't want to see it, trust me.
are like, man, he doesn't talk much.
You can look back on it.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to.
So, I got a text saying that you don't talk much. So
That's just me.
But they didn't see the previous show,
No,
so they
it's
don't
a
know
lot
how
better than
they don't know how little you talked the last time, where I had to carry that whole 2 hours.
I actually sing, so
Yeah.
surprisingly.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. We've got one more song for you. This is from a band called Smitten for Trash. You can catch them tomorrow night with Of Night and Light and 45 Government at 7 p.m. at the Soup. If you don't know where that is, ask a punk, but don't ask me because I don't know. Or you can ask Ryan Gurnett.
Yes.
because he is not a punk, so they put Ask a Punk or Ryan on the event page. Or you can catch them. It's actually JD from Smitten for Trash's birthday or his birthday show on Saturday at least. And they're at Timeless Babes, which is a shop at 61.5 Main Street in Tonawanda. And they're with DJ Nancy Nauseating, Kill Columbus, Muddle, and Prepare for the Mind Scan. That's actually going to be a pretty good lineup there. Oh, yeah. And that starts at 5 p.m. on Saturday. We're going to be at Mr. Goodbar, not performing, but our bass player, Ryan, will be with his side project there, Shambles. So go check that out. It's a Blink-182 cover set they're doing with Wrestle with Jimmy, who do Weezer covers, which is why we're not playing either band this week. We can't do covers on the show. Anyway, so this is Smitten for Trash. The song's called Personal Gain, and we'll see you next week right here on the ThinkSoJoE Show.
When you feel like your heart is so broken you could die, just remember there's loved ones and people by your side. Abuse and addiction seem like my only friend, but I try and lie to myself. Don't lie awake. The aching of my bones in this fucked up, desperate game. A six-pack and some blow for my fucking personal gain. Reality's a shame and no one takes the blame. Questioning religion and anything I don't understand. Contemplating drugs and alcohol will make me feel like I can stand. This race to the end where no one makes any fucking friends. They stand there with open arms and hands covering their fucking eyes. Blind to the world and everything that I despise. I can't stand anyone around me. I can't stand people tell me who to be. I can't stand the cops and they fucking me. I can't stand politics don't fucking me. I can't stand unrealistic assholes. I can't stand government CIO. I can't stand anyone around me. I can't stand people tell me who to be. I can't stand the cops and they fucking me. I can't stand politics don't fucking me. I can't stand unrealistic assholes. I can't stand government CIO. So don't lie awake. The aching of my bones in this fucked up, desperate game. A six-pack and some blow